everybody's staying warm, and I know a lot of our customers, they've got a bunch of new fish this week from us, so we really do appreciate all the support and patience with this. That was greatly appreciated also because our Black Friday sale was it was off the charts this year. We kind of made it a point for this Black Friday to, hey, we're going to put nothing but like our best items on BOGO and flash sales, and I think everybody really enjoyed it. And on the Facebook group, we've been seeing all these beautiful fish come from our place and end up in everybody's tank, and it's been a really pleasurable to watch that. I will say that it's been by far a very taxing week for us with lots of work. I just have to say to the crew here that they've really just blew our expectations for what we could accomplish here, getting orders out this week. I mean, pretty much besides the Saturday deliveries, we got everybody's order caught up that's ordered all the way up until Sunday. And I think even into Monday, we got out this week. So, and some of the orders that came in after that, we were able to squeeze in there, but, most everything kind of rolled over into next Monday. So, just so everybody knows also, like, when we're shipping fish, we ship the fish out in the order that we receive them. And, when you do place an order, you're going to get a order confirmation email, like, immediately after you place the order. It's important to read that email, because that email is going to give you a lot of information besides a copy of what you ordered. It's going to tell you like what to expect for shipping, and so just read that stuff. Also, the frequently asked questions on the website, that page is it's very important also, because it's not only does it have the shipping information on there, like what to expect, but what to expect when the fish arrive. And, it's just a lot of, questions that get asked a lot. So I did notice we had a lot of first-time buyers, this week from us during the sale. So that's a good thing. But, we want to try to get everybody caught up, with like, hey, what to expect when you order from Imperial Tropicals, we work really hard, and we stress out on every fish that we ship out to make sure that not only is it the best when we send it, but that it's packaged properly and prepared before it ships out. So, there's a lot goes into it, So, but yeah, the Facebook group, I can't thank you guys enough. It was just amazing to see everybody helping each other. Like, it was a very, very busy communication weekend. Everybody had questions during the sale. I was actually out of town with the family for Thanksgiving, and I literally had one bar on my phone, but I'm sitting there pretty much for like 4 days straight trying to answer everybody. And a lot of people were going to the group for answers, and the group was just very accommodating and helping everybody. Ahmad and Lynn, our mods in the group, were phenomenal. They were, the whole time, like, just helping people, get the answers that they need and what to expect. So I really do appreciate, you guys' work on that. It was really just a great experience. So I did notice that a lot of orders, as I was typing them up, they hadn't ordered since last Black Friday. So I think that's kind of a trend, hey, we're going to wait till Black Friday, but that's all good. I don't mind that at all, because it also tells me another thing is that when we ship you guys out fish, they're surviving in your tank. That's why you don't have to keep ordering fish, because when we ship you fish and you have questions on how to take care of them, and you're successful at it, then you don't have to keep buying fish unless you're setting up a new tank. These fish will live for years and years in your tank if you take proper care of them, so. And that also brings me back, if you're not already joined in our Facebook group, it's a private group, so you got to answer some basic questions to join. But join, because it's just a great community of people that are very helpful. It's a great place to expand your knowledge of all these different fish that we breed here at Imperial, and learn new techniques with how to best take care of them. And it's just the group's been phenomenal. I can't say enough. for everybody in the group, and also our moderators that take care of the group. Because to be honest with you, I'm not much on social media these days, and it's everything I could do just to keep up with the emails and that part of the electronics in my life. So big shout out to the group, and I greatly appreciate you guys. So uh, I'm gonna try to answer some of these questions as they come in, but just so you know, I got my phone just keeps, it doesn't stay up there very long every time somebody comments. I see Josh on. What's up, Josh? Good friend Josh Cunningham's on. So hope you guys are staying warm up there in Michigan. I know that was another concern we had this week is what was the weather going to be like. And if you guys don't know, we ship right through the wintertime. There is times that we will not ship if it gets too cold, but it's got to get really, really cold. Like we didn't ship into Canada this week because it was like -degrees, but there were some other areas that we were able to ship into, and it was in the teens. But we look at everybody's weather the day that we ship, so we have an idea of what the forecast is for the next day, and then we package your fish accordingly. If it's going to be extremely cold, then we're going to pack your fish up for that type of weather. So very successful week. There was only very few issues, and I would say a big part of that is that after Black Friday, not only is Imperial shipping a lot of fish, but the whole business world is shipping a lot of packages. So my hats off to the delivery people out there, the UPS drivers. Our UPS driver, he's just a phenomenal guy, and I feel bad for them during this time of year because they are slinging some packages. So I appreciate everything that you guys do to get our fish there safely. So I'm gonna start at the top, answer some of these questions, and then I'm gonna go show you guys some new fish. I was actually started yesterday at 5 a.m. We had a shipment go to a friend of mine, actually a wholesale shipment. So I technically did ship to Canada this week, but it was to my good friend Spencer Jack in Winnipeg. Wholesale order. It goes on an airplane and never gets put on a truck. So we shipped out an order to him yesterday, and there was problems with the paperwork. So I was tied up at the airport all day. We did get the fish out though. And as far as I know, everything went good. He hasn't told me anything different, so that's no news is good news in the fishing world when you ship. So, but we got on top of that a big shipment of new fish in from a good friend of ours in Indonesia that breeds a lot of really rare fish. And I want to show you guys a lot of them. They just came in like literally. I finished at 2:30 this morning putting them up and making sure they're taken care of. So. Some of them are, still recovering from the shipping because these guys were in transit for almost 36 hours. So you're talking a lot longer in the bag, a lot more fish in the bag. So we won't start offering any of those fish that I show you until next week. And then a lot of the fish are some that we're saving back for breeders. I got a few fish that have been on my bucket list. One is a new L number, the L280. Pleco, I've been wanting those. It's supposed to be a hypencystrius species. There's some debate about that, but it's supposed to be the world's smallest hypencystrius. So I'll show you those fish too in just a minute. They're so small though, I don't even know if you'll be able to see them very well on the camera, but we'll go by the tank and check them out. And I'm gonna show you guys some of those new fish, and I'm gonna try to answer some questions as we go. I'll go by the big tanks, give you guys a peek at them. The Burundi frontosas are doing really good. I do have to, I'm going to end up selling a few of the big males out of this tank. I don't know if we're going to be able to ship them. We might do them for local pickup because there's like 5 males and I want to say 6 females, and that's not a good ratio for breeding. So we're gonna pick out a couple of the males that we want to save back for breeding, and then we'll have a nice breeding colony in this tank. And then we're going to be adding some other Tanganyikan species to it that are big enough that the frontosas will not try to eat them. Of course, we got the South American tank here. We got the Savannah. We got the Raquel Severum, the true red shoulder Severum. Uh, we got the Paratropolis Dambas growing up in this tank. It's kind of, cool seeing a Madagascar cichlid interacting with these South Americans. They actually do quite well together. Let's see. We added a few fish to this tank last week. This is our South American community tank. We got a couple hundred cardinal tetras. We got some royal farewellas that we added to this tank. He's kind of just blending in with the wood right there. Got some black diamond cories in there. As much as I like the black diamond cories, I do not know that we're going to keep carrying the black diamonds. They're hiding back there in the back. That is by far the hardest cory that I've ever shipped. I mean, it seems like no matter how we purge them and how we prepare them, they stress out really bad during shipping. So we're gonna have to get better at figuring out how to ship that particular cory cat, because all the other cories, we've been having really good success shipping them. So all right, so here's the first one I'm going to show you. This is the Chili Red Oscar. And when I first saw pictures of this, in fact, it was Spencer Jack in Canada that sent me pictures. He got them a few months ago into Canada. And he was like, man, you got to get some of these. These things are spectacular. And the first thing I thought, I was like, man, these guys are juiced, So I contacted my friend in Indonesia that is breeding them and asked him if, hey, are you guys juicing these Oscars or what's that? He's like, no, these are strictly line bred Oscars. And he's like, they keep the color. They do feed them color enhanced food, but it's all natural colors. So he said that there is no hormones in these fish, because somebody popped up and asked if we bought some Africans from there, and we don't buy no Malawi cichlids from any of the Asian breeders because they're all juiced. There's none of them that aren't juiced. So I do buy, there's been some Tanganyikans I've bought before, but I do not buy Malawis or Victorians from them, because you're going to get all males, and a few weeks after you bring them in, you're going to get, they'll start turning back to females. So not a good source for the Africans. But the good thing is that, I'm friends with the guy. I've actually stayed at his breeding facility in Indonesia about 4 years ago when I went collecting rainbows with him, and he's not going to, he'll tell me the truth. So I'm glad that, and as we grow them up, we'll know for sure, like, if they keep that coloration. Right now, they're about 3-4 inches. We also got, what else? We got some red Oscars from him. These guys are bigger. You see those guys. And then we got some albino red tigers. Let's see those guys. And I think the Chili Oscar, just judging from looking at the pattern, because they're also albino, my understanding is that the person that, he's been specializing in breeding these Oscars for a long time, and he's been working on, selectively breeding them for better colors and better markings. Line bred the albino Oscars with some red Oscars to create the bright, orangish red body pattern on an albino. So you can almost call these like a albino red Oscar, without the pattern of the tigers. And, I'm sure that by feeding on the food with the natural color enhancers, probably is going to keep that color more vivid, So I'm sure diet's got a lot to do with it. We got some tiger Oscars then also. The reason I brought in a lot of tiger or Oscars period was we're going to start some breeding projects on them. We used to have a good friend of ours, Pat Daly. He bred Oscars for years here in Florida, and he did a phenomenal job. But he actually retired a few years ago, and since he retired, there's nobody's been, breeding a good strain of Oscars down here. Like every once in a while, there'll be, a local person that has some available, and I've tried importing them in the past, and they, a lot of times when you import them, they're just not good quality fish. So I reached out to this guy, and he's got some really nice Oscars. And just so you know, like they're a primo price. So I don't know if we do sell any of these, but if we do sell them, they're really expensive. They were very, very high dollar Oscars. So what else did we bring in? We got in some new rainbow fish that we are excited about because some of them were already breeding, but we don't have enough of them ready for sale yet. And they don't have any color yet, but this is the Melantinia marisi, and they get stunning. So if you guys are, rainbow fish, you guys are probably aware of the Cali Bairu rainbow and we offered some on the flash sale for the first time. These fish were discovered by the same person and brought, from the wild a few years ago, and now, they're just now starting to reach the hobby. So really excited about those guys. Also got some rainbows that, if they have been in the U.S., I wasn't aware of it. So these are some new strains that are not very common. I don't know much about this one. I did a little bit of research before we received them, just to find more about them, but there's just not a lot of info. So that's another Melantinia splendida, Cavor Village. And like I said, they just came in late last night, so they don't have any markings or coloration. Some of these newer rainbows, they don't really have the good color showing until they get, in their breeding colorations, and then they really start showing good colors. This is one that we also get locally, but I wanted to get some new genetics, so we brought in some Border River rainbows because our friend in Indonesia, he's specializing in rainbows, and since he's really close to Papua New Guinea, he's constantly going new. So I feel like his genetics are superior to a lot of the rainbow fish that have been bred for many, many years already. So we brought those in. Another one we're excited about that everybody's always asking for females on is the red neon blue eye, the Pseudomagul luminatus, and these are also sent with males and females. So really excited about that. Somebody just said my signal's not good, so sorry about that, everyone. I did finally, during Black Friday, I bought something for myself, and that was the only thing I bought during Black Friday. But we bought the Wi-Fi Google Mesh, so whenever we get time, we're going to have Wi-Fi all through the building. That is going to be a lot better than what we currently have. So it gets our videos a lot better, a lot less pixelated. We won't be dropping during a live feed. So another thing that we brought in was the Calihawa. So that was also a Black Friday sale, flash sale, and we are breeding them in-house, and we do have some of our own stock, but I actually brought in more of them just to improve my breeding colonies, and so we're going to have even more breeders going forward. I'm gonna go through these other ones kind of fast. We got the Follow Village. This is another new one that is She's the newest and latest species that I've also brought in some Melatinia, Cichlids, the tubal rainbow fish. That's the one that gets bright yellow. This is actually my breeders, and they accidentally sold some of them about a month ago, and I was like, oh, you weren't supposed to sell those. That's why you see the sign. Sorry about that, everyone. It looked like the video dropped. So let me know if you can hear me or not. All right. Once I get some comments, let everybody tell me that they can hear me loud and clear. All right, I'm back. All right. That guy, Mike. I appreciate it, Mike. All right. We got in another batch of albino thread fins, so we're excited about that. These are really in high demand. We offered a batch that we had in for about a month for Black Friday. So I would say these are going to take a couple of weeks before we're ready. So maybe in about 2 weeks, we'll have some more albino thread fin Acoras. And then this is the L280s. All right, so I'm going to try to zoom in on this little guy. Pleco, that's got like white spottings. I know it's going to probably look like crap on your end, but that's what they look like, and they're really, really tiny. These guys are, I would say they're about an inch and a quarter long. They're really, really small. What else did we get? We got in some more electric blue Jack Dempsey's. This strain of electric blue, in my opinion, is the best. They're not showing good color right now because they just came in from a 36-hour journey, but once they settle in, the blue gets spectacular. And the number one thing is that they're hardy. Like, they are very, very tough compared to the, electric blue Jack Dempsey's of the past. I think this is like the third time I've brought this particular batch in, strain in from this breeder, and every time they hold up really, really well. So brought in some black rams. They came in a little stressed too, but I'm hoping they'll get some better coloration. I just wanted to add some new genetics to some of our lines. We got the pea puffers. We got some more Haku puffers. We got some electric blue rams in. These guys they're pretty stressed right now. So hopefully, as the day goes on, usually as long as I could get the fish in alive, I could get it better. Especially not just me, our team here at Imperial. We do a really good job figuring out what the issue is and what the fish needs. So, and those were actually brought in for breeding because they used to be bred locally, and the guy that bred them did a phenomenal job, but he also sells to some of the big suppliers that supply the chain stores, and somebody dropped it. I don't know, Petco, PetSmart dropped it. I don't know why, which they probably weren't keeping them in the right water parameters. But once they dropped it, he said he wasn't selling enough of them to justify breeding them. So, which was a shame because I've always liked the electric blue rams. So we're going to grow those up for breeders. Actually, they're big enough to breed now once they go through, recover. And then this is another puffer, the red eye puffer. These guys sold really, really well. Last time we brought them in, they were new to us here at Imperial, but everybody around here just fell in love with them. And they are a really, really cool puffer that stays small. Of course, they are a little feisty, but not too bad. We brought in some Bolivian rams. Those guys, they're still a little stressed, and that's another one that used to be bred here locally, and we can't get them anymore. Nobody breeds them locally anymore, so we used to breed them in the past, so we're gonna take some of those guys up and breed them also. We did bring in some tank raised Brummy-nosed Tetras, and one thing about the tank raised Brummy-nose is these guys are phenomenal. They're way hardier than some of the ones that come out of the wild, and this particular is a Blair eye, and they get the really bright red, so Been very happy with the rummy nose that are tank raised from this breeder. So they're looking really, really nice. Um, we brought in some celestial pearl danios. I have a love-hate relationship with this fish. I love it, but it is a very difficult fish to keep, and it's just really prone for bacterial issues. So we're now that we got our RO unit running and this water is a lot softer, I think it's going to make a big difference on those celestial pearl danios. We brought in some Congo Tetras. We brought in some azul peacock bass. What else did we bring in? We brought in the pinstripe gambas, the paratropolis. Those guys are looking really good. I know we got some growing up for breeders, but I know everybody's been, emailing wanting to buy my breeders, so I brought in some more that we're going to be able to sell. And then another one that I really like is the cabotai, the green reservoir. It's one of my favorite Nano fish. They don't get very big, but they get like a lime green color when they get a little bit bigger. We also got in some more albino. I haven't had those in quite some time. The last batch we sold a few, and then the rest of them we saved back for breeders. So, and our breeders are starting to get mature now. So hopefully in the next few months we'll be albino redheads in house. We brought us some yellow Congos. These guys aren't showing great color yet, but that's a really nice fish. That's not even like the whole order. That's about probably half the order that we brought in. I'll show you a couple more here. I'm excited about these guys. These are gold laser Corys, the CD10s, and what was impressive about these is that we brought in I think 80 of them total. There's some more down here in this bottom tank, and there was not a single loss during the shipment. And tank raised, in my opinion, is always better. So we brought in some more stir-by Corys. Not also these guys either. So these guys are looking really nice. So all this stuff's going to have to go through a period of recovery, and we're going to have to make sure that they're 100% healthy before we start shipping them out. So just be patient with us. Know that we will be putting them up, but sometimes it takes us longer because we don't start selling them until they're 100% healthy. Basically all that other stuff you guys probably have seen before. So I guess I can flip around the front, show you a couple of those too. We brought in some Aves Creek rainbows, and now we've been breeding these in-house now. We've been offering them for the last few months, but I wanted to bring in some more because I wanted to improve our line. So it's and I'll show you the Aves Creek. In fact, we had the Aves Creek for the BOGO cell. Yeah, it was a BOGO cell. So I'm going to show you the Aves Creek that we've been breeding. So I just like to spruce up the genetics. This is another new rainbow, the Cali Mossai, and that's another new rainbow to the hobby. We brought in some big Uarus. Those guys are a good size. So we're actually breeding the Uarus in-house too, but all our stuff's really tiny right now. We brought in some more red terror, the true Festaves. I know it's just a little gray fish right now, but that is one really, really nice fish when it gets bigger. It's also very aggressive. Rose lines, we got in some more rose lines. I brought in some more Pagui, which, that's another one that we've been breeding in-house, but again, I wanted to just bring in some fresh stock. 6 stripes, frontosas, some Burundis. These guys are looking good. We got some Black Widow frontosas. I wanted to bring in, I've been buying those locally, and in fact the person that I buy from locally came by today, and we just got some more in today. So we got this batch, and then we've got another batch that's local bred that we'll have available. So that's some of the bigger black widows right there. I know a lot of the people that don't like line bred fish don't like those, but I love them. So we got some bigger Heckelei. Those guys haven't went up on the website yet, but they will be soon. I was excited because normally we just get them really small. Another new rainbow, Niskin Creek. Another rare rainbow to the hobby. So excited to see how these guys turn out. Lake Antinio, same thing as the Aves Creek. We wanted some fresh stock, so we're going to save the females back, and we'll end up offering males. We brought in Dubele, Snapper Creek. These guys are looking really nice. That's the regular Bozemanite. Where's the Aves Creek? Here's the Aves Creek. Right. So these are the ones that we sold during BOGO, and what blows me away with these guys is even at a small size, because they're like less than 2 inches, the males are just showing like spectacular coloration. So really excited. I mean, it's a big advantage by breeding this stuff ourselves. Like when we breed fish ourselves, we're able to really keep good control on the health of the fish and the stock, and control over the genetics and the breeding. So so it's been really, really good. So all right, so I showed you the new fish. Gave everybody a big shout out in the Facebook group. You know, thank you again, everyone, for the Black Friday sales. It was phenomenal, and my much appreciation goes out to our crew here at Imperial for being able to handle that many orders and get them out this week. They did a phenomenal job. So so much appreciated to everybody. So thank you guys again. You know, if you do have a question yet, I've been just trying to hit the ones that are the most pressing. So I've had a few people, they've emailed me like 6 or 7 times this week, you know, asking questions, and that's okay too. But I, you know, just try to send a short response back saying, hey, we've got our hands full this week. We'll get up with you and get you taken care of once we get everything caught up. So I'm hoping next week things kind of get back to normal. So shipping transit time should be normal for the amount of time it takes us to process an order. So looking forward to it. So thank you again, everyone. So let us know if you do have a question and get to it. Join the Facebook group. They're phenomenal. They're going to take care of you and give you the right information to help you out. So and sorry I didn't get to the questions today, everyone. So I saw a bunch of them coming up. So just shout out to everybody that's commented, and you know, I really like it. So Google the name that to the breeder and see if he could send me some pictures, because it's always important. Like, people want to know what they look like when they get bigger, and some of these new species, you know, there's not a lot of pictures of them out there. So I'm going to message him later today and tell him, you know, that if he could get us some pictures, I would appreciate it, because it would help us out. So and then I'm going to try to thank you, Lynn. I appreciate it. You were awesome during the Black Friday. Ahmad too. I appreciate you guys. That guy Mike says he's ready for some Africans. All right, Joseph saying, what's up from Spring Hill? Looking good, man. I want one of each. Nice. I appreciate it, man. I was talking to somebody about that earlier, about how great it is to be able to sell directly to the hobby like this and provide them with high quality fish that you normally couldn't find, you know. So thanks again, Joseph, and Simplify, brother. Vicky Coon, our new mod there on the Facebook group. Thank you, Vicky. I appreciate it. Telling everybody to hit that like button. I stepped outside to maybe help with the connection. I won't flip the screen so you guys aren't looking at my mug. And you can see that we've already started covering ponds, even though the weather is actually really nice. All right, so Daniel said he's got some bucket fish. Hey, the 264s and the 240s, those are ones that we will carry again. They are mostly wild caught. Sometimes I brought them in tank raised, but not too many people breed the 264s or the 240s. So your best bet is to get them, you know, from a wild caught source, you know. But we will have them, but right now I don't know when. So so we got the Cali. We're breeding the Parva. Those should be ready. So email us on those two, because I think we're going to put the Cali Bairu, our tank raised ones, up later today. And these are bred by us. And this wasn't the batch that just came in. So I appreciate it, Daniel. Shannon Ray says he wants 2 of the red chilies. Sure. Yeah, that guy Mike. I wish there was a way to keep those Oscars small, because they turn into big beasts. But that's all right though. You just gotta get a bigger tank. Susan, I wish I could still find time to go down there. I need to go through the greenhouse and show everybody, like, here's a pond that they cleaned out this morning. It had some sulfur head peacocks in it. Yeah, I don't know. I miss it too. I don't miss the summertime being in those greenhouses with the camera, trying to net up fish. But it'd be nice if I could go down there and get somebody to hold the camera while I net up some fish and show them to you. That's the downside about the greenhouses, is you're looking at the fish from the top. You can't see them like you can in the tank. So just as far as the, you know, working end of it, it's a lot easier in the warehouse. So, but we'll get to it. I'm gonna find time. So I appreciate it, Susan. Oh, wise man, I appreciate it. Thank you. Daniel, you're a trip, man. Yeah, I figured the video would be better outside the building. So all right, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up though. I couldn't get to all of them. So thank you again. I appreciate the support. You guys be safe this weekend, and depending on how things go, I might be able to go live Friday, but I'm not sure. That's one reason I went ahead and went live today, just to give you guys all a big thank you and a shout out to everybody that helped. So thank you guys. Stay safe this weekend.